So 2024 is upon us. Another year of running is ahead of you and me. And today I want to sit down and share with you guys what my 2024 goals are. So if you missed it, I shared a video last week or the week before talking about my 2023 goals, if I achieved them, if I didn't, how I got on, and how I generally felt about the year. So I'll make sure I leave a link to that at the end of this video if you want to see how I got on. But it's now a new year and I have new goals, new aspirations, and I'm really excited to share with you what they are. First of all, I'll give you a quick recap of what's happening in this first part of the year, then share with you what they are. So I'm not going to make the same mistake in last year's video where I plan out my whole year. I talked about doing marathons in the second half of 2023 and it just didn't happen, but I have booked my first half of the year, so let's talk about that. In a couple of weeks time, 3 weeks time, I've got the Lisri 8 race, which is an 8-mile race. I did it last year. It's flat and fast with a deep field. I was meant to be doing the Speedway 10k. Sadly, that's been cancelled, so I found an alternative in the Lisri 8. After that, I have the Barcelona half marathon in February, which is extremely exciting, my first European race. 2 weeks after that, the Bourton 10k, where I'll be giving my 10k PB a crack, which is currently 33.00. Try and get into those 32s. After that, into March, I've got a 20-mile race, which I do most years, the Fission 20. Very excited for that. That'll probably be a workout leading up to London Marathon, which is in April. From there, I fully intend to go back into a speed block just like I did this year. Once I do the long distance work, I love to jump into some short, sharp work. However, I'm not going to commit to anything in autumn because I'm just not sure what I want to do yet. My gut tells me that I really want to do another marathon. My head's pulling me in different directions. I'll see how I feel after London, but ultimately what I want to achieve in this first part of the year is a successful marathon block with some good races in between, and then get into some good fast races during the summer. So with that out of the way, this isn't technically my first goal, but I'm gonna put it out there. I want to stay injury free. Now, I didn't set this as a goal last year, and I'm not going to set it as a goal this year because I don't want to jinx it, but 2023 was the first year that I've pretty much had injury free. I did have a few niggles, a bit of sciatic issue, but overall it was nothing that stopped me running. I worked through it and it felt great. I've had some good improvements in 2023 and I just want to continue that into next year. That's no fancy extra training, no extra big mileage. That's just being able to string 52 weeks of good, solid training together with the odd break in here and there. So I'm not putting that out there as an official goal, but you guys know what I mean. I'm sending that positive energy out there. Hopefully we can have another injury-free year. I'm not going to share how I've done that. I'm not going to share why I think that's happened. I've talked about that enough in previous videos. Let's get into what my specific goals are. Goal number one, run 2,700 miles. A very specific number, I know. I set it every year. I try and increase my miles every year. So in 2022, I ran 2,536 or 13 or something around there. And then I set the lofty goal of running 2,700 for 2023. Didn't achieve it, but I did get to 2,600. So I did have about a 100-mile improvement, and I'm just looking to continue those lifetime miles and just gently creep it up. I do hope at some point this year I can add an extra run into my training per week. That will massively help my training in general, but overall I'm not banking on that. Things and circumstances will have to change. Life is very busy, as I'm sure it is for a lot of you guys, and to try and fit another run in is very hard to even think of at the moment, but hopefully we can make it happen. So I am going to set that goal. That is the plan, and fingers crossed we can keep that upward trajectory going for my annual yearly mile increase. Number two, I'm not going to wimp out of this one. I want to get a PB in the 5k, 10k, half marathon and marathon. So in previous years, I've always said that. And last year I said I just want one in the 10k and the half. This year I'm committing to all of the full distances that I enjoy running. That's a lie. I enjoy the 10k half and full. I don't necessarily enjoy the 5ks, but I know they're better for me and they help my overall running performance in general. If I get faster at the top end, that will trickle down through all the other events. I am going to put a bit more of a focus in the summer next year on 5Ks. I'm going to try and run more than one next year and try and break 16 minutes. We'll see how it goes, but I would just a PB will be great. So yeah, I want to commit and try and get a PB across all four of those distances. I'm personally putting myself into races where I feel I can PB. London, I feel, is the only sticking block, so then that depends on if I do an autumn marathon. Just because London is a big event, I didn't buckle under the pressure of London. I went into London last time not in the best headspace and also not in the best physical shape. I got massively injured 5 days out. My physio repaired me as much as they could to get me to the start line, but it didn't hold up throughout the race. So I'm hoping for a much better race this year. But either way, if that doesn't happen, then there is a chance that that goal might not happen if I don't run another marathon at the end of the year. But I feel pretty confident that if I can stay injury free, I can hopefully break the PBs in those other 3 distances at least. Number 3, I'm going to blend 2 goals into one here. I say every year, or for the last 2 or 3 years, I want to complete half of a summer road racing series, whether that's the Hereford Couriers 5k, whether that's the Chepstow Harriers Rose Inn, whether that's the Bristol Track Club 5k PBs, whatever it is, I want to at least do 2 of their races. Although those series usually have 3 or 4 races in them, and I want to do half of them, but I'm going to blend that into another goal, which I kind of just alluded to in my distance PBs, which is I want to run at least 2, if not 3 5Ks in the summer next year. Now 5Ks, I'm not anti 5Ks, and I do enjoy the burn of a 10K. I feel like the 10K is where I shine, and then above I just really enjoy those races, but they're not my forte. 5k, again, I just don't seem to be very good at it, but I feel like if I'm good at a 10k, then why can't I be better at a 5k? I know I need to put more emphasis on that top end, and I really should put more time and energy into improving my 5k time. It's just going to massively help all of the other times. I'm going to put myself in an uncomfortable position next year, basically, and run more 5Ks, which I'm kind of looking forward to, but also know that I don't want to do it for too long because I want to get back into the stuff I enjoy. But at the same time, combine that with some of the road racing series. So for example, if it ends up being the Rose Inn races where they're 4-mile races, I'll kind of blend that in with 5Ks because 3.1 miles and 4 miles, they're relatively similar. They both hurt just as much and they're both a similar intensity. So I'm just going to basically go out there and say I want to do more of the stuff that makes me feel uncomfortable, and that is that main thing. And the last running goal, because I've got some channel goals after this, the last running goal is to enter 3 races that I have never entered before. So do 3 new races, spread my wings. 2024 is the year where I want to branch out a little bit. I do a lot of racing in the southwest, and this area where I'm based, I'd love to kind of go and explore more areas. I dabbled with that with the Battersea Park 10k at the end of November, and I just want to spread out a little bit, even if it is events still in this area. I just want to put my nose out there and do stuff that I don't normally do. Obviously this first part of the year that's coming up, I've got the Barcelona half, so that's going to be a new race, and a European marathon, so that will tick one of those 3 boxes. But the other races, I've all done them already. I've done them a few times actually. Some of the races, some of them will be my 2nd time, some will be 3rd or 4th time. And I want to just branch out a little bit in the summer and the autumn. Just do a bit of exploring and get to some new races. It's just a goal of mine. I want to kind of, as I said, spread my wings, try some new stuff, still enter a lot of the races that I love to do, but also try and get into some faster fields as well, with some faster races, and try and push myself a little bit more. And now I just want to share a couple of channel goals with you guys, because I think about these things and I never vocalize them, and I'm hoping that if I lay it out there, I'll be held accountable at the end of the year, and it'd be good to reflect back on them. And the first one is for me to film more races. So last year, 2023, I filmed the Bristol Track Club 5k in April, and I also filmed the Podium 5k in August in Cardiff. I love going and filming and supporting races. I really do. Now those situations that I filmed them, I was entered into those races. I didn't race them for injury or another reason. It wasn't injury. It was just that one was close to London and I had a bit of an injury scare, a bit of tightness. I didn't want to risk it. I ran on the day of it, so I wasn't injured as such, but I didn't want to risk running a fast 5k. And the other one just didn't end up working into my schedule. But it was great to go down there and film, and I want to do more of that this year. I love going and filming. It's a great to share that sort of content on social media. I don't feel like the sport of running has enough emphasis on these kind of lower level club runs. I'm going to say club runs. These athletes are running 13-minute 5Ks. These are elite level athletes, but they just don't get the coverage they deserve. And I feel like if I can use my platform to share some of that, it will be wonderful. So I want to do more race filming. That's the first thing. And the second thing is I want to be able to look back on the year when I sit down this time next year and look at the channel and be proud of what I've put out there. And I want to have a good balance of everything. So I want shoe reviews, shoe comparisons, training videos, race footage, race vlogs. When I say race footage, I mean filming other races, race vlogs, and more longer longer form stuff in terms of like more traveling. You guys, I'm sure a lot of you follow Kofuzi. He does some great run and weekend videos. I love them. I know a lot of you guys watch them as well. They're great. I love that longer form kind of storytelling, take you through a weekend, take you through a journey. What I want to do is when I do some races that might involve a bit of travel or whatever, just kind of build you up through the weekend and show the full picture as to how I prepare for a race when I have had to do a lot of traveling, when I have had to be out of my normal routine and that sort of stuff, just producing more longer form stuff in that area. I want to be able to sit back and be proud of what I have produced. I look back at 2023 and go, I'm really delighted that I have produced some race footage from those 2 races, and I'm really happy with the spread of what I have put out there, but there is some gaps missing that I feel, especially that longer form stuff and more exciting races that I want to get to. I love supporting local races. It's majorly important to me to get out there, support local clubs and go and do their races. That's a main part of why I run. I love it, and I love the social aspect. I love seeing familiar faces. It's brilliant. But I also want to get to a few more exciting races, shall we say, some bigger races, get in there, get in the mix of things, hence Barcelona, just really soak up that atmosphere. For Barcelona, I want to produce like a 3-part vlog where I'm traveling there, the race itself, and then the aftermath, things like that in my head that I really want to focus on. So that's going to be my second goal. So there we go. Those are my 2024 running goals and a couple of channel goals as well. Actually quite condensed this year, only 4 of them. I've decided to scale back. I'm realizing I'm putting some goals on my list that really I'm just not ever achieving and not going to achieve. So I want to keep things more realistic, more focused, more dialed in. I know where I want to go. I know what I want to achieve. I'm very much laser focused now on trying to get faster across distances, training on the trails, racing on the roads. Hopefully I'll do a trail race next year, but I didn't put that one in the list because I know what I want to try and achieve. And yeah, that's why I've shrunk stuff down to really try and tick all of the boxes and have a better tick to cross ratio when we get to the end of the year. I'd love to hear from you guys though, of course. What are your goals for this year? Is it just to run healthy, stay injury free? Do drop a comment below, or have you got some PBs that you want to try and attack that have been hanging around for a bit too long, and this year is going to be the year where you really go for them? Let me know, share it with everyone. It'd be great to hear from you down there. That's it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider giving it a like, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. I'll see you in the next one. Until then.